Hi there, this is Lady Shell. I'd like to welcome you to my new series, which I'm calling Fantasy Grounds Tips for Beginners. I've compiled 25 tips, each with its own description in the title, so you can look at this playlist and pick and choose the ones that interest you the most, or just start at one and go through 25. They're all between 3 and 10 minutes in length, so if you don't have a lot of time but you want to learn a little bit about Fantasy Grounds, these tips should be helpful. Note that if you're a long-time user of Fantasy Grounds, you may not find this as interesting. I'm aiming my tips at brand new users to give them a look at what Fantasy Grounds can do for their gaming. So sit back, relax, and hopefully you'll learn something new. Now, today's tip is in regards to being a DM and you're running your game. You have your players on your table, and you have shared a bunch of stuff, a bunch of maps, a bunch of books and stuff. And it's important to remember once you share things, if you're not going to use them again in the game, you should unshare them. And this is because Fantasy Grounds is a 32-bit program. It has a memory of about 3.5 maybe gigs of data. So once you get close to that amount, if you go over that amount, you're going to start to see things getting sluggish, and eventually your game will crash if you keep adding more and more and not take anything away. So how do we remove things that we've already shared? Well, first let's start with maps. Now, if I open up my maps, you can see on this list that I have shared these 3 maps or images. They're shared. This was what the P means, public. So to unshare them, I just click on the P, and now they are unshared. Now for modules, you would open up your module, your library, click on your modules, click over here where it says all, and this is all the modules that I have loaded right now. So let's say we do not need this book, or the Unearthed Arcana, or the Inc. Incorporated Players, or the Spells Cutting Effects, Frog God Games, Book of Lost Spells, we don't need that anymore, and the Crawfolk. So we're going to leave the rest shared, but now we've just reduced the amount of memory that we're using so that it will be less likely that Fantasy Grounds will crash. So I hope that you found this tip useful, and I hope that you will continue to watch the rest of the videos in my series. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.